Hello guys, welcome back to the channel. We have another story for you today. We're gonna talk about James, a young man in the early 1800s in New Orleans. So the story is fiction, but the background, the atmosphere, what it's happening, it really is how poker started to become popular in America. So let's go. A New Orleans story. In the busy streets of New Orleans in 1812, a young man named James was making a name for himself. James was a riverboat gambler, known for his sharp mind and quick thinking. He had a talent for reading people, which helped him win many games. James spent his days on the riverboats, playing various card games and betting on horse races. His reputation grew as he consistently outsmarted his opponents, earning both admiration and envy from other gamblers. One evening, as the sun set over the Mississippi River, James entered a tavern and saw a group of French sailors playing a card game he didn't recognize. Curious, he watched as they dealt cards and placed bets. The sailors' faces showed concentration and anxiety, their eyes moving between their cards and their opponents. The game was called poker, and it was intense. James could feel his heart beating faster just watching the sailors play. Unable to resist, he approached the table and introduced himself. He asked if he could join the game. The French sailors agreed, and James took a seat. The first few hands were confusing, but he quickly learned the rules. He watched the sailors closely, paying attention to every move. The game was a roller coaster of tension and excitement. The room in the tavern was a bit dark, the lights coming from oil lamps, casting shadows on the wooden walls. The air smelled of tobacco, alcohol, and sweat. You could feel the tension in the air. As the night went on, James found himself in a high-stakes game against the ship's captain, a big, strong-looking man. The captain's hand shook slightly as he placed his final bet. James noticed the captain's eyes nervously looking around the room, his fingers tapping anxiously on the table. The captain's shoulders were tense, sweat coming down his face. Sensing his chance, James called the bet and revealed his cards. The room went silent as the captain's face became full of disappointment and defeat. James had won. News of the new game spread quickly through New Orleans. The rules continued to be refined, blending elements of poker with other card games. By the mid-1800s, the game had evolved and spread across the United States, becoming known as poker. And so, in the Mississippi riverboats, as well as the smoky saloons, taverns, and gambling houses of New Orleans, between the clink of coins and the shuffle of cards, poker was born. A game of chance and strategy that would captivate players for generations. There you go. So this talks a little bit about the origins of poker, but at the same time, it is a fiction story. Use it to practice your vocabulary, your listening, reading, and speaking. And remember to make English part of your life, guys. This is how you're really going to improve when you make English part of your life. You can practice more listening and reading, watching this video. Check it out. I'm sure it will help you. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you for coming. I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.